So let me ask, how do you think espionage has changed since your time in the CIA and especially now?
Excellent question. There's certainly much more in the way of technology, but will technology replace human intelligence? In my opinion, no. But for instance, when I came back from overseas in 1994 and went to work full-time at CIA headquarters, the internet was just in its infancy. Now, the internet is so common that my phone, everything else I can access. If I meet you and you tell me your name and your company, I'll do an internet research thing and see if you're legitimate or not. So the ability for someone such as myself to travel an alias and pose as an oil and gas commodities trader is circumscribed considerably if you can simply look Jim up on LinkedIn and see, or whatever name I've given you. And if I've given you a name and I'm not on LinkedIn, and I should be, or I don't have any internet presence, you're going to think this is phony. Something's wrong here. So things have changed. Other things that have changed is what we call ubiquitous technical surveillance, meaning cameras everywhere, meaning biometric readers, meaning facial recognition readers, things like that. So is this a insurmountable barrier? No. It's just as much of a challenge for our adversaries, the Russians and the Chinese, as it is for us. And so we have to be smarter and swifter. I know Mossad's key counterintelligence principle is swiftness. Get in, get out, get it done. And I think that's a good rule, get it done quickly. But be aware of the technical challenges. Now, people have asked me about AI. In fact, my friend Shawnee Delaney, whom I mentioned earlier, she and I are writing an article for a journal, and the title of the article is Human Dead in the Age of AI, in the Age of Artificial Intelligence? And we're going to probably come to a conclusion that artificial intelligence does pose challenges, but it also can gather incredible amounts of targeting material on a target. If I had AI resources, I can vacuum up all the information everywhere about somebody and have it make some conclusions and at least point me in the right direction as to how I might make a recruitment approach. If I find out that you're heavy into gambling, that you're going through marital issues, that you may have some medical issues, things like that, all stress points, vulnerabilities, or that you're on your social media. Think of all the social media that you're on where you make some mention of the fact that you like to play lacrosse. Maybe you're a member of a lacrosse team, of amateur one now that you're out of college. But I want to get close to you, so I'm going to learn how to play lacrosse and maybe work, to get to know you. Or I find out that you play tennis or you do something, and you got that on your social media, on Facebook or on LinkedIn. That gives me great target assessment. It's what we used to call an access agent. If I want to recruit Reed and I don't know Reed, but I know Paul, who's one of Reed's best friends, and I can recruit Paul to tell me all about Reed and what his stress points are, that's called an access agent. Nowadays, with social media, I don't need access agents typically. You're putting it out there yourself.
So the discussion with AI, though, are you worried about the ability to maintain encryption, a lot of those different systems?
That's actually in my third book. Yes, quantum computing could pose a challenge to encryption. Theoretically, if we get I think what they call it, a computer-relevant quantum computer, it'll make encryption irrelevant. That what would have taken millions of years could take hours to break encryption. Not only is that a challenge to governments protecting their secrets, but it's a challenge to banks and everybody else and companies, credit cards, things like that. If that encryption is broken, we're going to get looted, both intellectually and financially, be looted. So we need to stay ahead of that. I hope we can develop the quantum, and if we develop it, then there'll be some kind of defense that we can maintain as well.
Mm-hmm. So about AI videos and photos, I'm sure you've seen, the quality over just in a year has become, you almost can't distinguish. Do you see
if anybody sees me in a little pink tutu, that's not really me.
That's exactly what I was going to say is, can you Is there considerations about utilizing these to be able to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I mean, the Russians, the Chinese, they're already doing it. This is called a what is it called? Degradation, denigration campaign. I want to denigrate somebody, cause doubt in the group that he's in, so I construct AI videos showing him consorting with their enemies. That's people have been doing that for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. But now AI makes it much more possible that it's actually believable. You're looking at this and you're seeing your trusted friend, and here he is with these guys, and
and play that game.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess continuation with this, we have, and we were just talking about China and Russia, our two biggest foes in this arena. And China itself, over the past decade, has really become a centralized state in terms of intelligence. Yeah. They have cameras on every corner. I mean, you have social credit scores, items like that. If I was to take you as an agent right now and saying that we're going to be dropping you into that area, or if you're just recruited or case officer, whatever it might be, how would you game plan to be able to operate in a place like China at its current state?
With a lot of difficulty. I do have friends who speak fluent Chinese, near native level Chinese, and we do fortunately recruit ethnic Chinese case officers. Like we try, I mean, you talk about diverse government organizations. Diversity is not just a hollow word for us. We don't do it simply to be cute and politically correct. We do it because we need it. If I want somebody to know what a Chinese target is thinking and all the nuances of the language, I want somebody who has probably been brought up as Chinese or at least immersed in the culture and the language, much more than some kid from Texas like I was. So